Hey everybody, welcome back to this Aquarius exhibit. Pretty late, but better late than never for December's issue of the monthly tank updates. So I got laid off from my job in the middle of the month, and I've just been doing heavy tank maintenance, trying to get rid of all the algae in the tank, some hair algae and some substrate algae. Been doing pretty good. Like, the rocks are pretty much all clear. There's just a tiny little bit of hair algae here and there, and it's mostly just dying off. Corals are pretty happy right now. Everybody's open right up and as happy as they can be. Lots of new polyps and head splitting on some of the torches and stuff like that. That splatter hammer back there, it actually fell off the back when I was at work, and the wife she didn't know what to do, so she just left it, and all of the heads died except for what's left there. But hopefully it'll come back strong. So, but everything else is looking pretty healthy. New build is underway. I got the stands in my garage, ready for panels to be installed on it right away. And then once the stand is installed, I should have the tank be built. It should be built by maybe the first week or second week of January. And then I can start plumbing, and it looks like I'm gonna be going with a Bash C sump and most likely skimmer, maybe reactor as well. So full custom and top of the line for acrylics and support equipment. So that's really awesome. I'm pretty happy about that. Bash C is well known as like one of the best and awesome looking pieces of equipment, or companies that build equipment for reefing in the industry. So really excited about that too. Everything's pretty healthy here. Yeah, like I said, the tank maintenance and just keeping up. I don't run an overflow on this or sump or anything like that. It's just strictly the tank, and I don't have an ATO, so I just have to really monitor my roadie water going into the tank, and I've been able to do that when I'm home, as well as my monitoring the KH. So with that, I've been able to keep on top of it and keep all my parameters like super stable, and it's really showing with the corals. Like, they're happier now than they've been in a long time. So I'm pretty happy about that. Like, these corals never really even colored up much before. All these zoas up here. I love the watermelon one on the left. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, in my last issue, I was having an issue with, there was a hermit crab that was eating all of my snails, and then because the snails were dying in the tank, all of the nutrients were going into the water column, and it was just like wreaking havoc, making like tons and tons of algae so fast that I couldn't even deal with it in any kind of way. And I actually just gave the hermit crab to a friend, and then got a bunch more snails. I got some Mexican turbos and some trochus, and I believe I got an astrea because I found one in there that I had to get the wife to flip over while I was at work. And I guess it could have been a turbo, but trochus is pretty much the only one that will flip itself right. All the other ones will just they'll probably just die. They won't be able to flip themselves over. So yeah, got some snails, and they've been really working. So I'm really happy about that. A little bit of algae in the substrate, but it is really dying off. I mean, once it dies off, if you can't mechanically remove it immediately, it just grows into new algae. So as long as you can try to remove it the best you can, you're just making the population of algae and the concentration of the nutrients smaller and smaller each time you remove. So, and as long as you couple that with like small feedings that are less often, you can actively get rid of the nutrients in your tank. And testing for phosphates is kind of like hit or miss. I mean, even with a HANA checker or something like that, you're still testing what's in the water column. And a lot of times when phosphates are introduced into the water column, whether it's by food or by dirty water, it can actually get absorbed immediately by the algae, and you can't even test for it. So there's no way to know what your phosphates actually look like in the tank. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I'm getting mine down. It's visible to see, so that's really sweet. And fish are happy. This guy's always hiding. There's 2 bubbles in the tank. There's 1 bubble right down there and 1 bubble right there. And that's the only ones in the whole tank. And I think I'll probably try to get those out of there next time I do a water change and have the vacuum right there so the spores don't get released back into the tank again. These little guys down here are making good work of the Vermin Snails. I don't know if you guys are familiar with verminid, but they just grow on the rock mostly, and they're not really hazardous by any means, but they just cause the corals to get a little bit aggravated because they release their mucus webs, and when they do the mucus web, it just kind of stops the coral from expanding and just fully going out, I guess. But anyways, that's this month's issue, and you'll see us next year. There'll be some new things in the works, that's for sure. And you'll be seeing some updates on the new build coming up right away. Okay guys, thanks for watching.